Oh, we don't just naturally hate Meghan Markle. She deserves it for burying Harry in a greedy mess. Hello and a very warm welcome back to LVT News. Of course, at the end of the day, we're all just human and we are subject our human reactions. What's important though is what we do with them. We've got to be okay with having our feelings and our reactions, and we need to accept that it is all just a part of the human experience, but we also need to understand that we are responsible for how our feelings and how our reactions affect other people. In this particular situation, Harry and Meghan have, if you ask me, shown that they're very immature in regard to their treatment of other people, and they have just pushed forward their own problems and insecurities onto people around them. And this is the biggest reason that they have polarized and divided so many of us, and it's also why a lot of us now are just waiting for karma to come knocking. There are many different reasons. Of course there is the train wreck effect. There's the social aspect of all this. There is the instinct to try to be protective, and the moral aspect to the train wreck is certainly coming, and we can't help but tune in because we have this need to see what's going to happen. We want to see how it's all going to turn out. It is more of a curiosity. Sure. But that curiosity also explains how we learn new things. So we're watching too. It's also about the community and understanding and knowing that there are other people out there just like, you aren't crazy, and yes, your suspicions are 100% valid and your observations on this whole situation are also valid. There's an entire community that agrees with you, and it just feels good to know that you are not alone in this, that you're not the crazy one everybody else is. And then of course, there's a natural instinct to be protective when we feel like something or someone is being attacked and they don't deserve it. Let's take the late Prince Philip and late Queen Elizabeth, for example. Both of them were elderly and they dedicated their whole life to serving their people. They were so good to Harry too. They absolutely doted on him, and they opened their home. They offered the best resources to Meghan Markle, and in exchange, what happened? Oh, well, Harry attacked them. They were shunned and they were defamed on an international stage. It was Harry and Meghan mocked a dying man and a dying woman in front of the entire world and in front of God too. So of course, that's going to cause a lot of us to want to be protective of them, and that's why Harry and Meghan are so obsessed with the victim narrative too. They want people to fight for them rather than against them, but it's not going to work. They're trying to manipulate our protective instincts. But they're failing at it, and there's also the moral aspect in all this that we need to consider. We all have our own set of beliefs and our own set of codes to live by, and when we see other people act against these codes, of course, we're going to take a certain amount of joy in seeing them get their come up, and because those people are going against the morality that we hold so dear, we can think of it as being happy that karma justice is being done. And I think that might be coming sooner rather than later. Especially after the coronation, the rest of the senior royals are going to keep on doing a wonderful job showing precisely what grace under pressure looks like. They'll be out there doing so much good work on behalf of the UK and the Commonwealth. Meanwhile, the fake royals in California are looking worse and worse by the day, but you know what, the gems that truly are the senior royals are going to keep on. Meghan and Harry have overexposed themselves, and so naturally people are getting sick of them. People can only take so much. This repetition of the victim who narrative is getting very old, and eventually people are going to go past anger and they're going to go to apathy and annoyance, and apathy is not good for people who only want. I think it could also be that while Meghan and Harry try to insist that they really are the victims, there just are not any hard facts proving that they're the victims. In fact, it seems like we're seeing the royal family as being more the victims of Harry and Meghan's awful accusations and the other way around. The truth is, people cannot take their eyes off of a car crash when it's happening. They don't want to see it happen, but we all know it's going to happen. By the way, somebody's driving the way that Meghan and Harry are living their lives right now by throwing people under the bus or by just ghosting them. It's not going to be a happy ending for those two. We know that much, and I don't think people really find joy in reading or watching this happen, but instead people are just thinking, well, I told you so. I knew this was going to happen. And of course, this is just my opinion, but I would say that I'm somewhat fascinated by watching Harry and Meghan because I find a lot of what they do to be utterly unbelievable. I just wonder what in the world are they thinking? Do they know what they're doing? I also find it really refreshing that in this day and age with the internet we ordinary people can express our feelings, however small, on any subject that we care about. It may be true that the royal family is considered to be a powerful entity on the world stage. But they're basically like somebody's on where it seems like anybody can just launch missiles in the form of abuse at them with impunity. Meghan and Harry realize this, and that's why they keep on harassing them, but at the same time laughing at them and their hesitance to. And that is where we on YouTube come in. We can stand up for the royal family by calling out Meghan and Harry for what they really are. It's public opinion that is ultimately going to destroy the two of them, although it might take some time to see that happen. So, for me, maybe fascination is not the best word. Maybe annoyance is. Because it is just awful to see the way they treat people. And every time we think that they cannot go any lower, well, they prove us wrong. We know it's going to end badly, but we just don't know when. It is morbidly fascinating in that they seem to be getting away with so much, at least for now, and we can't help but wonder who it is going to step in and stop them. They are digging quite the hole for themselves. I don't think they're going to find a way out of this one. They have become a laughingstock all over the world. They are despised by so many people who are also appalled by their behavior. They lie and then they try to backtrack on those very lies. They make stuff up completely and then they claim that it's their truth, and they still seem to believe that they can get away with changing people's opinions by rebranding themselves. They don't seem to have any idea though of the enormity of everything they have done because they are so self-obsessed. Now this house of cards is going to fall, and when that happens, they're going to be shocked and everyone else is going to say, well, finally. It is like watching a train wreck in motion, or maybe a natural disaster. We know that we shouldn't be watching. But for some reason we cannot turn. This year idiocy of the two of them is just fascinating in and of itself, because all of us can see the things that they want or the things they had when in fact they were a part of the royal family. They were the ones who decided to walk away from all that. We knew that Harry was not the brightest crayon in the box. But how could this social climber, this gold-digging witch, be that stupid? Literally anybody who go through Harry's social media and googled his name before going on a date with him, let alone walking down the aisle to marry him. That is what people usually do in 2023 after all. So what is it about them? Well, I really think the thing that's so fascinating is that none of us can believe what we're seeing. We simply do not understand their behavior. It's like we suspect that maybe this is all one big prank, but the fact is this is not a prank. This is Meghan and Harry's reality. A commentator has also shared their interesting perspective on this, saying society is just as fascinated by people they dislike in the public eye as they are by people they favor. I think there are quite a few reasons, but they include wishing to see loathsome individuals get their come up and wanting to see the drama they create unfold and trying to understand the motives of horrible people. That is, can you believe they just said that? Meghan's story could have gone two ways. The outsider from the royal family who was not only from another ethnicity, but was not from this country or from an aristocratic family, breeze fresh air and change into an antiquated system, making us all move forward with a modern monarchy. Or the second way, which is the way she went, is to disappoint us all with her awful character, bullying behavior and entitled actions, and to try and destroy our monarchy traditions and values. I believe that most British people wish she was gone. They wish Harry would divorce her and she would disappear from the public eye. She has done nothing because friction capitalize on her name, exposed the worst in Harry, and laps us all on how to live our lives. On paper, if we had all read about her behavior and actions years ago, nobody would believe that Prince Harry would choose such an unsuitable partner. I think we watched the media and read articles on them because salacious gossip and the misfortune of others and their actions always fascinates us, things that a lot of us would never dream of saying or doing. So why do these people with so much money, fame and exposure behave in such an appalling way? It's not dissimilar to meeting and catching up with a friend and they say you will never believe what happened to Fred last week, and you wait on bated breath to hear what drama has unfolded. He says his wife left him for the plumber and she took all his power tools. What do you